Okay, students, we're back. One thing that I'm doing, I've got my great niece here, and we're going to do some texturizing. Okay, this is your texture shear. Remember the one with the teeth on one side and the blade on the other. And there's specifics. She wants her hair a little bit thinner, and because she's fortunate enough to have a ton of hair, and then it's between medium to coarse. So she's got extremely healthy hair, so it can withstand quite a few things. But you notice those curls. I mean, she's got perfect finger waves in here, and one of the things that she wants to get rid of, what happens with curls is they again create volume. So what I'm going to do on one part, I'm going to texturize it at a diagonal. If you texturize it vertically, it tends to expand that out. With the diagonal, it will help lay that down a bit. And on this side, I'm going to do it extremely horizontal for you to be able to see the difference. And you can actually get rid of or loosen some curl when you do this. So I'm going to subsection her at this angle, as you see, diagonal. And I'm going, sorry about my hands and stuff that you can,
ow,
sorry.
poking me.
She's so shy, yes. Anyways, so I'm going to be within about 1.5 inches away from the scalp. You don't want to take it all the way to the scalp because it creates almost like a little pillar coming out. And we are doing it diagonally, and I'm also going to texturize it diagonally. So I'm going to do 1, 2. You saw I made that letter V right there, and that got rid of a bunch of hair. But you can already see that it's beginning to soften it a bit. And now there's no more wave right there that just comes down and curls on the ends. So I'm going to bring this over, 1, 2, diagonally. And see, it's almost straight other than the little flip on the ends, but we don't want to take that off because then we're taking off length. And she's slightly A-lined in her haircut. As you can see when I bring it down, you can see by my fingers that she's got a bit of an A-line cut there. There you go. So on this side, as I said, I'm going to take it and do it horizontally. The horizontal line creates a heavier line. So do you see how she's pretty straight here? And she's almost S-shaped in this side. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to elevate this up. Bring this up a little bit because I'm going to start at the lower nape area. And again, she's got, but this time horizontal. 1, 2. I want you to see the difference. It creates a harder line. I'm going to get that center section there to incorporate it. And I'm going to bring this next section down. And 1, 2. And I've got a pretty good sized section. I've got about 1 inch section. But you can see where that has softened that S shaping, where it's no longer such an extreme. Does she still have curl? Yes. You can only control so much of it. You don't want to get rid of all the hair. You just want to get rid of some of that. So I'm going to give it one more, this time diagonal, and you can see the difference. See that it just lays better. So I'm going to travel up to the parietal line. I'm going to take her midsection down off of the lower ridge and pull that up. Now the rest of it I will do diagonally. Along the nape I can get away with that, but I don't necessarily want to do it on the rest of it. A horizontal line can definitely be seen. And you see that that really softens that down quite a bit. I'm going to travel from side to center, side to center. You never go side all the way over to the other side. You end up, it's bad habits that you get into when you do that. And what happens is, we have her baby in here, so you hear that in the background. She is a cutie. So you can see that it's much easier now, much softer. And we're getting rid of quite a bit of hair. And again, the subsection, so this is the, this is a good 1.5 inches right there. And I'm going to turn her around, go side to center, side to center. Now, as I come out in this direction, I'm going to come out about 4 inches. No longer closer to the scalp. I still want this to come over. If I take it too close to the scalp, she's going to have these little hairs sticking up. So you see how close that tip end is to the scalp. The other end is further away. This is kind of in the center. I'm taking vertical partings now. A while ago it was everything was diagonal. Now only the cut is diagonal up to that center area. And you'll see we get a real nice blend. And we're getting rid of quite a bit of hair for her.
We got a lot of hair.
So see how that volume has decreased quite a bit. We've still got this volume here, but watch that. See how it comes down now. It's no longer just popping up like this side does. Now keep in mind, curls are going to bring it up, but this is laying a lot closer than this side. So you see the effects of texturizing. The texture shear is not used enough. There's so many things that you can do with it. You can cause direction in the hair, especially shorter hair. You could direct it to make it go in the direction that you want. The teeth of the shear is what gives it the direction. All right, so I'm coming to the sides now. You always start from the ends and travel up when you're removing tangles or texturizing, especially this long hair. So now you see it laying even closer to the head, even here. It's not giving us that problem anymore. So I'm going to come over to this side. And the area, the flat part of the head, that's where you have the least amount of hair. So you don't necessarily want to take a lot off there, but what we want for her is we want it for direction. So I'm going to definitely point the tip of the shear, the comb part of the shear going back, so that, because I'm going to show you now, that goes back okay, but you see how that swings forward? All right, this is what I'm talking about as far as direction, making the hair go back. And again, staying away. We don't want to get too close to the scalp. You're thinning the hair out, you're not getting rid of it. If you want to get rid of it, then yes, you take it closer to the scalp. See that lay back? It just goes right back for us, where it was fighting us a while ago. And that's where your comb of your shear is going to do that. Now keep in mind that one side of the head grows forward, the other side of the head grows back. And we're going to find out which side of hers grows forward, which side grows back. This side grows back. See it stay back? And the other side fought us before we did that. So we're just going to do this lightly, still with the comb of just one. And the reason for that is because it already goes back instead of two. And again, it makes it go back even more. Just does it all by itself. But this tool is essential for that. It's essential for you to take it and just bring it all the way back. And I'm going to part her down the center. And just as a clue, with her facial shape, it's best that she not part it down the center. She's got a strong cheek line, and because of that, what happens when you have a strong cheek line like that, it creates width. We don't necessarily want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to texturize it so that she can start parting it over this way, and you can see how that automatically slenderizes and creates length. As soon as we put that center part, it draws that cheek line again and makes her cheeks look fuller. So we don't want to do that. So here's the apex. So at the back of the apex, I'm just going to take it. Now here's another factor about it. Do you see her cowlick? See where it splits right there on the cowlick. Now this is where you then take your texture shear. I don't want it to split there. I am going to go about 1.5 inches away. The comb says go that way. Now see how it automatically covers that up. You don't have that problem anymore of that showing up. I'm going to go on this side. This time the teeth of the comb is going to go in. And again, staying closer to the scalp. And what that does, I'm sorry if that's pulling. Now I can scatter it, and you still don't see that split anymore. And that's what makes it nice. We know that cowlick is there, but it's not as visible. So that's right at the area behind the apex. The vertex is here. That's where your cowlicks are. So again, we want her to be comfortable. I want this going in that direction. It grows in that direction. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to subsection it, bring it straight up. I'm going to stay about 3 inches away. The teeth are formed to go in that direction. So I'm going to comb it over. Again, take a subsection, and you see it's slightly diagonal. Just one, comb it over. And the last one, I don't necessarily want to take it too far up, so I'm going to stay up at the upper ridge with it. That's the reason I teach you students about the upper ridge, the lower ridge, every section of the head, so that we're speaking specifically, totally, completely the same language, so that I can talk to you in videos, and there should be a whole lot less room for error. Okay, so we took the teeth going in that direction, correct? So on this side of the part, I'm going to keep it going in this direction. So the teeth now are facing down. Again, you see my parts are slightly diagonal. I'm not going to take it into the perimeter line or the hairline. The reason for that is I don't want a bunch of little hairs sticking out right here. See, we've taken off a decent amount of length, and that hair is definitely shorter in that area. So what I want to do now is continue to comb this out, get all those hairs out that I thinned out.
I have so much hair.
And she has a ton of hair. Now, to make it simple, I'm just going to take my fingers and comb that over. Now, do you see? I'm taking my fingers and doing it, and it's not fighting me. I didn't even have to use the comb to do it, because I trained that hair to come in this direction. Now watch what happens. You see that lift? That's because it's against the growth. I went with the growth. If you go against the growth, and against, we did texturize in that area. But what we want is we want a nice soft. This looks a lot, I think it makes her look a lot sexier. And just gives her height along the forehead. You can see where that brings that up quite a bit. And really works much better.
I agree.
And then you go corner to corner. You don't bring a straight line back. Bringing a straight line back just creates more problems for you. Do you see that? So like this, corner to corner, and let me show you on the camera. If I bring it straight line back and bring it over, remember I did that to go down somewhat. I took some of this and made it go forward, but as we came back here, we went down. So it'll work, but it's more work. So why do that? Where she can take it corner to corner and then still have the same effect, soft, nice movement, and now feel your hair and see if it feels thinner.
Oh, dear God, yes.
Okay, good.
I have a lot of hair.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to quickly do a boy's haircut.
No, yes, go. That's my old cane. Go. That's my cane. Go. Come on. You're on
Okay,
camera,
and
so
we
don't
are on the pandemic still. It's 2021, January. So he is nice enough to wear a mask, and that's very responsible of him. We can go ahead and take it off. We're all family, so, we are all very careful on what we do. So I'm draping him right now. I should use a Santa strip, shouldn't I, students? But he's family. You know how you treat family. So he doesn't want it like really, really short. I know that. And they just said give him a haircut. They didn't say how short, now did they? So we're gonna do what we think is best for him. But I want to teach you a couple things as we do this. How much time do we have, cameraman?
14.
14 minutes? Okay, so we have half the time. So I'm gonna try and get this done in 15 minutes. Well, 14 minutes. So this haircut is what I've been teaching you on the mannequins. Can I take him? Okay, if you want to close your eyes, Sebastian, you can. Because the hair flies. Now remember the angle, tip of the ear to parietal line? And he's got good, strong hair. I mean, he's got some amazing hair on his head. All right, so I'm going to take it right to the tip of the ear. But look at that angle still. And the comb is carving out, just like I showed you before. As you can see, I'm close here. As I come up, the comb turns. As I come up to this area, the comb is almost pointing you flat. That's exactly what we did on the mannequin. But this is what I want you to see. And he's got a beautiful sideburn. And one of the things we've done for him in the past is we've taken them and maybe taken them to a point. Okay, now I'm going to shift his head over and you can see this line. Again, starting down at the lower nape. And the angle is the same. I'm going to end up at the same line coming down. This is what I've been teaching you with the mannequin. Now, even though I'm holding the comb differently, the line is the same. So this is a real nice tapered haircut. That's what we're working on, is tapering this to come down and just give him a really nice, really clean look without taking a whole bunch off. We still want to keep him looking good for school. He's going back to school now, and are you doing classes online? Okay, they're still doing classes online, just like you guys are, and that's why it's essential that you watch this video. And cameraman, could you take this real tight right here so they can see this? Can you focus in real tight right in this area? So only what they can see is the clipper and the hair. So the comb is at that exact angle. Okay, and I'm going to lean him forward a bit. And I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of that corner that I'm creating. I already know what I have to do with it. How short do you want it, Sebastian? You need to take it pretty tight or not too short?
Not too short.
Okay. You don't want to see scalp. Is that what I'm hearing you say? You don't want to see scalp? And that's how you talk to your clients, students. If they don't want to see scalp, give them what they want. They have to wear this. Your hair is an important factor to your body and to your emotional health. Okay, now lean your ear over that way. Thank you. So you see, as I do this, close your eyes, thank you. Good, here goes all over the place. It's got really, is that getting in your nose? Sorry. Okay. And again, parietal line, tip of the ear. There's the tip of the ear. And notice the angle of the comb. See, at first it was flat, and it curves around in that form when you're done there. Flat, crawl up into it, and this is called tapering. I'm tapering this haircut. Get that hair off of him. Okay, I haven't swept up any of my hair, so. Okay, I'm going to move his ear over a bit because I'm going to follow that exact line. And I'm using my Oscar clipper. Okay, so coming up here. I mean, he's got really strong hair. Even my Oscar clipper has a hard time carving through it. But that's what I love about it, is it does not back up. And I'm actually thinking about changing my blade. I think I will do that real quick. Doesn't take long. And that's another thing I like about this is, okay. Alright, so this blade, oh yeah, much sharper. It is not stalling for nothing. And see, that's what takes time, and your time is money. And his hair is strong. Okay, so I'm going to come down in this area again, very tight into the nape. Traveling around that curve of the head. And clean that up really good. So this side of his head grows forward. So I would have to see it automatically just comes forward. It sticks out when I try and push it back. So I would automatically know that I have to use the texture shear to get that to go back. All right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to wet him down, and we're going to do some scissor over comb. These are things that I want to teach you so that you can cover it. Now you notice that his part is almost right at the parietal line. So we're giving him a nice gentleman's haircut. So the first thing I'm going to do before I take length off, I'm going to use my texture shear to get this to lay back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now watch the shear. Holds the hair, combs the hair. Holds the hair, combs the hair. And you see that gives it a real nice clean look going back. And the texture shear is now doing the haircut. I'm going to come back around to the back. I'm going to stay at the occipital area doing the same thing. Just cutting it with my texture shear. Holding the hair, cutting it, and bringing it back around. Listen to your clients when they say, I don't want a lot off. It's always best to cut it again than to mess it up the first time. And you're not messing it up, you're just cutting it. But the point is, it's not what they wanted. And I'd rather see you now. See where, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is sticking up just a little bit because it's saying, I want to go forward. So I'm going to pull this up horizontally and bring it down, and there it goes. It lays down for you. So this is knowing how to use your texture shear to achieve the look that you want as a finish. And I'm just kind of cutting it shorter, getting rid of some hair, and staying within the occipital area. As you can see, that's the only part that I'm cutting at this point. All right, how much time do I have, cameraman?
5 minutes.
Okay, we have 5 minutes, so we're okay. So this side, I'm gonna wet him down again. Just makes it easier to comb through. Give him a nice gentleman's haircut. And you see, this side grows back. It's not a problem. We've got a little bit of a situation there. Again, I'm going to use the texture shear teeth to direct it back. So my elbow is up this time. Hold it, and comb it back. And keep going back to the center occipital. And just this is what a tapered haircut looks like. And I'm doing 1, 2, 3 on them. And I usually count. In my mind, I'm counting. So I want this to continue to go back. So I drop my elbow now and then just keep cutting and combing and watching it happen. If it sticks up, I'm going to get underneath there, get rid of some stuff. Get up here, get rid of some stuff. And then I know I need to just remove a little bit of length right there. So I'm going to lean them forward. Come back. But you're getting an idea, and remember we always work the bottom first. On all the mannequins we've worked the bottom first. So what I'm going to do now on top, and this is what scissor over comb is about. We know he wants it combed in this direction when he combs his hair. That's his cowlick in the back. It goes in that direction. Can you see that? He's got a definite cowlick that grows in that direction. So we're going to take it, if we bring it over, creates a bit of a problem. See that stick up? As soon as we take it against its growth on the cowlick, and that's where the problem lies when he's getting his hair done, is that part will stick up if they take it too short. So we want to keep his hair looking nice. We want it to look good. So I'm going to take it now and I'm going to go up to right to the parietal line. That's where I'm going to hold it. I'm going to bring the comb flat to the head and I'm taking that off. Now you can see that that lays better now. I'm going to travel around the parietal line only and bring that out.
Look like I'm someone from British.
Yes, you do. You'll have to start speaking British now.
He looks handsome.
He always looks handsome.
Oi, mate.
Remember, they can hear you on the video when you talk.
No, they can't.
Yeah, okay, well, I just told you. So when you watch the video tonight, you're going to hear what you said. Okay, now, I'm going to push this back over to the apex, center apex. See, I'm right at the middle of the head. If you know where you're at, you know where you're going. I've over-directed that to the center apex. So it's combing really, really nice. I'm going to bring him back around. I'm going to bring this over to this side so then I can do the same thing. At the parietal line, bring it over, take that now, and you can see that it's pretty even. It does it by itself to the center apex. I have a corner there right at the end of the apex. Now, just like his mom, he's very fortunate to have lots and lots of hair. So, as well, I'm going to take it, and with my texture shear, carve out, see how I'm carving, and then comb that out of the way. Carve out, get that comb to do the work for you, and then get it out of the way. I hope my arms are not in your obstructing your view any. Now, see how that's trying to stick up? Lay down, hair. We don't want you sticking up. There you go. So there's a lot that we can do. I want that to go over. So what happens when you texturize, you create short pillars inside.
1 minute.
And those short pillars are what give the hair the direction. Now, you want this away from your face so it's not falling in your face, or do you like it coming down?
I don't like it coming down.
You do like it or you don't?
Don't.
You don't. All right. So he's saying he does not want that. And you can see that the natural fall says, I'm coming down. So I'm going to hold his face, take that straight up. 1, 2.
30 seconds.
There you go. So you see this is just a really nice, clean, just effective, not too short. I know really short with guys. The only thing I need to do now is just clean this up, and you do that with your trimmer. So students, I hope that you learn from this. You got 2 great haircuts, texturizing and the taper cut that I've been talking about. Take care. We'll see you again.